within our nation, within different people. Genesis 30 and 1. And Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, because matter of fact, Leah brought forth half of the tribes and Dinah. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister. See, she envied her sister because she desired what she had. She hadn't got pregnant. Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, "Give me children or else I die." Now, Rachel was beautiful. Leah was, they said, she didn't look so well, put it like that. So Rachel was fine as ever, but you hear what she just said? "Give me children or else I die." And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, "Am I in the Most High state? Am I the Most High? I can do what the Most High does? Who have withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?" The Most High held back the fruit of her womb. And when you look at it, she when you got a chance to leave from Laban, her father, Rachel stole all his idols. All his idols. Now you know Jacob was teaching them. He was there many years, 7 years. You know, about 20 years he was with her working for her father to get Rachel. And she told him, "Hey, give me children else I die." He's like, "Am I the Most High dead? That's on the Most High." But she stole her father's idols. And when he came looking for Jacob, so "You stole my idol." He said, "Hey, I didn't steal nothing. You didn't know." And she put a big, they have a certain, like a pillow or whatever that they have where they help you on their cycle every month. And she put all his idols on them and sat on them. Stole her daddy's gods. And talk about, "Yeah, I'm on my cycle. I'm on my monthly." So he ain't pay no attention. He ain't gonna move out away from her monthly. You ain't supposed to touch it. He ain't touching that, But she lied. And the Most High, he killed her. She died in childbirth when she had Benjamin. That's why it's about the spirit, how you carry yourself. So look at Leah against Rachel, because Jacob loved Rachel, but he went into Leah too, because she had most of the children, half of the tribes. Look at listen what it says. Go to Genesis 30, and we're gonna read start at verse 14. And Reuben, that was Jacob's firstborn son. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mantrace in the field. It's like an aphrodisiac. And brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, "Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mantrace. Give me those mantrace. Give me those aphrodisiacs." And she said unto her, "Is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband?" Remember, Laban, the daddy, fooled Jacob, and he thought he was marrying Rachel, but he put Leah in there. Said it's not right to take, my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter is not married. So they were married, Leah and Jacob. And he made it work for Rachel many years. And she said unto her, "Is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband?" It's Leah telling Rachel. "And wouldst thou take away my son's mantrace also? Take away my aphrodisiac?" She bumping children out. Just like, Sex enhancer. And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's matrix. Hear that? Jacob gonna lie with Leah for Leah's son's, Reuben's, mandrakes. So she got this, she hold on to this. It's gonna help her. She's hoping to get pregnant. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's matrix. And he lay with her that night. He was with her that night. And the Most High hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived.
We're never alone.
And bare Jacob the fifth son. See?
And that is our
She was
strength.
having son after son after
Because
son.
when we're
Fifth
doubted,
son.
we'll play as one.
So
When we're held back,
you see it.
we'll go farther. And
Look
harder.
at Genesis
If we're
31.
not taken seriously, we'll prove that wrong. And if we don't fit the sport,
And
we'll change the sport. We know
Genesis,
things won't always go our way.
let's read verse Genesis chapter 30.
But whatever it is, we'll find a way. And when things aren't fair, we'll come together for
Let's start
change.
verse 37. And Jacob took him rods of green Hola and of the hazel, and the chestnut tree, and piled white stripes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had pulled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering troughs when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. They could take this in whenever they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle ring striped, speckled and spotted. He brought forth cattle ring striped, speckled and spotted, all over their bodies. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring striped, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. So he separated his cattle from Laban's, his father-in-law's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. So the feeble ones were Laban's, but the stronger cattle were Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly. Jacob increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maid servants, and men servants, and camels, and asses. Now check this out. Genesis 31. Now he's rolling. He's increasing continually, consistently too. Genesis 31:1. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. This supposed to be of our fathers. Jacob didn't take this. This is Laban's sons. Excuse me. See, Jacob only getting this increase because it's their fathers. He have taken away all that was our fathers. And of that which was our fathers hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the kindness of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. They changed their father's, countenance toward Jacob. You see, notice it wasn't like he was rolling before. Start getting envious. And the Most High said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. See? So, he's envious. Go to Genesis 37. And we're going to look at Joseph's brothers being envious of him. Genesis 37:3. Now Israel, our forefather, Jacob, loved Joseph more than all his children. He loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. He was the son of his old age. And he made him a coat of many colors. So he made Joseph a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. They hated Joseph. And they was wroth with him, talking hard to him. He didn't do anything. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brother, and they hated him yet the more. He dreamed a dream, he told his brothers, they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheep arose and also stood upright. And behold, your seed stood around about and made obeisance to my sheep. Meaning they bowed down to his sheep. His sheep stood up straight up, and their sheep made obeisance to his sheep. His sheep. And his brothers said to him, shall thou indeed reign over us? Yes, he did. In Egypt. When the famine came, he had to come and actually bow down before Joseph. Because he was raised up right under Pharaoh. When his brothers said it to him, shall thou indeed reign over us? Or shall thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told his brother, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. Now, mind you, I tell you, they didn't speak peacefully to him. So you got a certain spirit, even deal with them. He went and told him that dream, knowing that they already speaking harshly to him. He had another dream. You gonna go to him again? You say they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. So you know they probably spoke more harshly to him. And he dreamed yet another dream, verse 9, and told it his brother, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brother. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? And his brother envied him. See? They hated him, they envied him. And his father observed the same. What he was saying. He observed it. He observed the same. Jump down to verse 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, because he was sent to check on the brothers, see what's going on with him. And when they saw him afar off, they was gone. They was gone. And when his brother, this is his brother, that's his brother, saw him afar off, Joseph coming to them, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Even before he came near them. This is our story. Even before they came near him, they conspired together against him to kill him, to slay him, meaning to murder him. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him. Come now, therefore, let us kill him and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some evil beast has devoured him. And we shall see what will come of his dreams. Not knowing that Most High had given him a dream that was real. That's just what had to happen. And it did happen. And Reuben heard it, and he just delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands to deliver him to his father again. While he was gone, they come with a plot, and they sold him to the Arabs, and the Arabs sold him to the Egyptians. And that's how he got there. Look at Acts 7, Acts the 7th chapter. Acts the 7th chapter gives a synopsis of our story. You want to know a little bit about our story? You can read Acts the 7th chapter to give you a little history about us. Look, Acts 7 and 9. And the patriarchs are the men who created, I'll say the 12 tribes came from. And the patriarchs move with envy. See, they move with envy, hating Joseph. Sold Joseph into Egypt, but the Most High was with him and delivered him out of all his afflictions, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he made him governor over Egypt and all his house. There came a dearth over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no substance. I mean, it was a famine, and they couldn't find any food. But when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first. And at the second time, Joseph was made known to his brother, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. First time they didn't know. He made them, he held, some of them say, go back and get my brother. But he saved his brother, but it was his brother Benjamin. So he made them go back and get their youngest brother Benjamin. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him and all his kindred, 75 souls. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers. But he was ruling. He was right under Pharaoh, and he ruled. Right after Pharaoh, Joseph was. You look at the Sphinx. A lot of those the Sphinx are Joseph. Look at Joshua. Go to Numbers 11. Numbers 11 chapter. Please, Numbers 11. You see how we are? Look at Numbers 11 chapter, verse 27, on consider 28. And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my master Moses, forbid them, stop them. Moses said unto him, enviest thou for my sake? So you envying them for my sake? With the Most High, that all the Most High's people were prophets, and that the Most High would put his spirit upon them. Moses got him to the camp, he and the elders of Israel. And there went forth a wind from the Most High, like a hurricane, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high, from the face of the earth, quails everywhere for food. And the Most High stood up all that day. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day. And he gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Most High was kindled against the people, and the Most High smote the people with a very sore plague. Your body's out here to die, we have no food, complaining and arguing with Moses and Aaron. And while they was eating, till they full, the Most High brought forth a plague upon us. He called the name of that place Thaahwam, because they were buried. Because there they buried the people that lusted. You gotta watch what you do. Most I see everything. He blessed them, right? He still what? Brought them plagues on them, killed them. Oh, so let's go to the next chapter. It's Miriam and Aaron, envious of Moses. Y'all seem to be getting the picture here? Numbers 12:1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Right? So that's one thing that they said. But that wasn't what the Most High was concerned about. So concerned about. Let's continue. Verse 2. And they said, had the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Had he not spoken also by us? The Most High heard it. Here they go. You talking about the Ethiopian woman, but they had a problem with Moses' relationship with the Most High. Hey, he's dealing with Moses, he's dealing with us just the same way. You know how people are. We all in this together. You ain't the only one that's dealing with it. Everybody else get the same kind of blessings and have the same spirit. Don't even know you. Don't even know how the Most High is rolling with individuals. Just assume. You know what assumption means. You know what assume means. That's why you got to watch it. You got to be very aware of the way you think. Because in the church they say, oh yeah, they look for this. They say, oh yeah, see Moses married an Ethiopian woman. That bring us in there as being black. Now Moses was already black. He was already a brother. He was already a brother. You know? A brother from birth. He was already a black man. Look, let me show you something. Go to Exodus 4:6. What will be the purpose of him being a so-called white man and he do this miracle to him? Exodus 4:6. And the Most High said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. So he told Moses to put his hand in the bosom. Moses was like, all right, they ain't gonna listen to me. Israelites not gonna listen to me. I stutter. I can't speak well. They're coming up with excuses, right? Moses said, put thy hand in thy bosom. He put his hand into his bosom, and he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Just like the palm of your hand on each side. Like what the white man called vitiligo, we call it the leprosy from Leviticus the 13th chapter. When he pulled his hand out, it was leprous as snow, right? And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. So his hand is white on each side. So he put thy hand in thy bosom again. So he put his hand back in his bosom again. And plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. His other flesh was dark. Dark skin. It came to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. When you do that, they ain't gonna believe you then. They definitely gonna believe. But they see your head turn like that. So let's go into So he don't say Moses had to do that, but if he did that, let's go to Numbers the 12th chapter, continue with Miriam and Aaron, Moses' sister and brother, saying what they said in Numbers 12 and 2. And they said, Miriam and Aaron, Moses' sister and brother, have not the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? The Most High heard it. And that's what people think. Everybody's rolling on the same page. We ain't all on the same page. Not spiritually. Not challenge anybody out there to say we only all on the same page spiritually. You gotta lay it out. Lay it out. How we are. We're not. Just like him, just like he have, certain of us have. That's why you got a body. Some of you might be the eye, one eye. Some might be the other eye. I might be the mouth. Somebody else might be the tongue. Somebody else might be the nose, the ears of a body. Different administration, different things that the Most High bringing about in the body of the Mashiach. But they saying, hey, the Most High dealing with the same thing that, people think today. Just because you know some scriptures, mean you thinking that spiritually, that's on another level. The law of the spirit, the order of Melchizedek going into higher levels of spirituality. It's a difference. It's a difference. Everybody don't have that. Everybody not doing that. They don't have to. The Most High have them right where He want them, or they have themselves where they want to be, and they not growing. Like some people still in the same era as it was in the past. But listen, verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek. He was humble above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. The Most High spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam. Come out, ye three, to the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Most High came down in the pillar of the cloud. He stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. We know that because he told us that in the book of Job. He said he gonna speak in a vision or a dream. Job 33:14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceived it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, what he want to do, and hide pride from man. So he's telling you here in Numbers 12:6, if there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so. He already said, my servant Moses is not so, who was faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Most High shall he behold. Wherefore then, were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? He said you wasn't afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Let them know that he's above y'all. I don't deal with Moses the same way I deal with you, Miriam, and you, Aaron, and anybody else. That's why he said, wherefore then, were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them, and he departed. So he wasn't afraid to speak against my servant Moses. He departed. The cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous. So to be leprous, how are you? White as snow. Her skin went from, just like Moses put his hand in his bosom and put it out, it was white, leprous, like the palm of your hand. That's what it's talking about. The bottom of your feet. Yasharala. On both sides. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous, white as snow, turned white. Can you imagine that? And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my master, I beseech thee. But he crying out. He next, right? Miriam was the oldest. Look at that. Aaron, both of them talking stuff about Moses though, right? So Aaron is like, hey, alas, my master. Please, he said, I beseech thee. Please, lay not the sin upon us. So he's like, you know, to be leprous, to be white as snow is a sin. Lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Listen what he say. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. Cried out to the Most High. Say, heal her now, please, please, please. Heal her now. Don't let her be as one dead. He said, please heal her. He crying to the Most High, saying, please heal her. She done turned white. Can you imagine that? Looking at this, it's like, whoa. And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. Most High said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, Most High said, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days. And after that, let her be received in again. So that means she had to stay white for 7 days. And that's how the Most High looked at that. If the Most High had, if her daddy had but spit in her face, wow, that's the meaning to the utmost. Wouldn't you think? Your own father spit in his daughter's face. Wouldn't she be shut out of the camp for 7 days? Let her be shut out 7 days. So she had to deal with that 7 days. Who's to say if Moses told her? She had to go through that thinking, this I'm going to be forever? Shoot. Look at Numbers 16. Number 16. We deal with envy. Let's look at Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah, son of Ishar, son of Kohath, the son of Levi, Dathan, and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And it rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown, 250. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, saying all the congregation are holy, all of us holy. Same thing Miriam and Aaron was dealing with, right? Every one of them. And Most High is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High. And Moses heard it. He fell upon his face. And that sounded like he get ready to do some damage to him. 250 men against 2. So Moses fell upon his face. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow, Most High will show you. He's going to show who are his, and who is holy. Will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen, will he cause to come near unto him. Do this. Take your censers, Korah, and all this company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Most High tomorrow. It shall be that the man whom the Most High does choose, he shall be holy. You take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. So you take too much upon you. Remember what the Most High said. He speak to Moses. He was weaker than all the men in the world. So he speak to Moses mouth to mouth. Everybody else is speaking in the vision and the dream. And Moses said unto Korah, hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi, see that it but a small thing unto you, that the power of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and stand before the congregation to minister unto them. The Levites were the priests. He told them what their job was, what the Most High chose them to do. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High. And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, his enemy, which said, we would not come up. He said, we ain't hearing you, we ain't coming up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? Envy him. So you brought us up out of the land of milk and honey, thinking Egypt is, to allow us to die, and now you're going to be a prince over us? Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and of vineyards, without put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. We ain't coming up. Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Most High, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. They don't accept their offering. So I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt them. Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Most High, thou and they, and Aaron together tomorrow. Take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Most High, every man his censer. 250 censers. Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. That's, censer is what they have for the incense to be put in, and you wave the censer around, and the incense goes all over the room, so all over the place where we want to go. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle and the congregation, and the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation. The glory of the Most High would be his only begotten Son, as an angel of the Most High, as the Spirit of the Most High, H.O.D.C. Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Separate yourself away from this congregation, because I'm going to consume it in a moment. And they lead to destroy you. H.O.D.C. to destroy you. But he's not in flesh, he's in spirit, he's an angel. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? Scared now. They was rebellious, talking all that stuff, right? But look, this is what the Most High did. They brought their offerings, they did what he said do in verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, the ground clave asunder that was under them. The ground opened up. The ground opened up. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up. The ground opened up and swallowed all of them up. And their houses went down into the ground like a big sinkhole. Giant, though. All their houses, wherever they was living at, it opened up and all their houses went down. And all the men that are pertaining unto Korah and all their goods, they and all that are pertaining to them, went down alive into the pit. earth closed upon them. Open it up, open up the earth to them and their houses, everything they had, they closed back up. And they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. But they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. They right now, Israel, we're going to stay around them. We're going to be out of there. We'll be gone. And there came out a fire from the Most High and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. Kill them all. Fire came out and killed them all. The Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning and scattered out of fire yonder. But they are hollow. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad placed for covering of the altar. For they offered them before the Most High. Therefore they are hollow, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. Here it is. That's why you can't be envying. Psalms 106 and 16. Psalms 106 and 16. Psalms 106 and 16. They envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron the saint of the Most High. The earth opened and swallowed up Dathan and covered the company of Abiram. And a fire was kindled in their company. As we just read, the flame burned up the wicked. This is serious, boy. Look at 1 Samuel 18. Concerning Saul, our first king. The most, you understand, this is a serious issue. When you think about, the Most High said, all you need is me. And Israel said, no, we don't. Regardless of however you want to look at it, they said, no, we don't. We want a king like the heathen. We want a king like the heathens. They got a king, we want a king. So Saul was the first king, a Benjamite, that the Most High placed over us. Now let's see why he envied David. We're in 1 Samuel 18, verse 5. And David went out wheresoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people. David was. So Saul set David over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. It came to pass, as they came, David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tambourines, with joy, and with instruments of music. So women came out, tambourines and instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played. They playing music. And said, Saul slain. It said, Saul is slain his thousands, and David is 10,000s. They came out there singing, Saul is slain.